Yes, I did, said Drew. The painter said it would be okay. I don't call this okay, said Art. I call it fabulous. You do? Said Drew. Absolutely, said Art. These figures are spectacular. Your drawings will be our next show. Drew hugged Amelia Bedelia. Drew, she said, you are a true artist. Yay! When Drew's class heard the news, they all clapped and cheered. How exciting, said the teacher. This calls for another field trip to see what Drew has drawn. Amelia Bedelia walked back to the museum entrance to meet Mrs. Rogers and head for home. The museum was almost empty. For goodness sake, said Amelia Bedelia, that artist has made another sculpture. I'll brush off the fuzz stuck on its nose. She took out her duster and... Achoo! You are not an artwork, said Amelia Bedelia. You must be the art thief. The man dropped to his knees. Please don't turn me in, he said. Shame on you, said Amelia Bedelia. You have talent and so much to give. How could you think about taking? The thief's eyes filled with tears. You are right, said the thief. I am sorry. I won't steal ever again. Promise? She asked. I promise, he said. I believe you, said Amelia Bedelia, and I believe in you. Now goodbye. He thanked her and vanished. A moment later, Mrs. Rogers showed up. Who was that man? She asked. Just some guy, said Amelia Bedelia. He likes to stand around in art museums. You see, said Mrs. Rogers, you meet the most interesting people here. Did you hear about the attempted robbery? They had a lot to talk about on the way home. The next month, the art museum opened the exhibit of Drew's work. Cousin Alkalu's birthday was on the very same day. What Drew? Drew. Drawn by Drew. Congratulations, Drew, said Mrs. Rogers. The whole town is proud of you. Thank you so much, said Drew. The show is a big hit, said Mr. Rogers. Thank Amelia Bedelia, said Art. Here you are, said Amelia Bedelia. As Cousin Alkalu served cake, he said, Every year, Amelia Bedelia bakes a coconut cake for my birthday. Said Art to Amelia Bedelia. This piece of cake is your masterpiece. Thank you, said Amelia Bedelia. Speaking of masterpieces, here is your birthday present. As Cousin Alkalu took it, the gift slipped out of the bag. Crash! Oops, said Cousin Alkalu. Not again, said Art. That was a bust, said Mrs. Rogers. It is now, said Mr. Rogers. It is in 1,000,000 pieces. Don't worry, said Art. I know where to find another one. Thank you, said Amelia Bedelia. Just make sure it has a price. You can count on me, said Art. By the way, this came for you. Amelia Bedelia unwrapped the package. This looks fantastic, said Art. You've discovered another modern artist. Wow, said Drew. Who did it? There is a note, said Art. Amelia Bedelia read it to herself. Thank you for believing in me. I won't let either one of us down. Your sculpture. Turn around, said a man. I want to take your picture. No, said Amelia Bedelia. You can't have it. Relax, said Art. He's a photographer. Town news. Drew draws a crowd at art museum.